Okay, so I know there's no one here waiting for me, but for the sake of the stream, we are going to be doing 3 hours today from 1 till 4 p.m. 8 plus GMT. The game today will be Space Engineers. Oh, there we go. Now, for those wanting to listen to the VOD or what have you, this is a brand new start-off game, survival, and we'll be doing star system in survival, offline mode until I deem otherwise, because reasons. And yeah, mods, I'm only using Azimuth overclocked ore detectors. Basically gives me 2.5K's worth of view on the ores. Just makes life a little bit easier and quality of life. In the advanced, nothing's really changing. And as you can see here, I'll just bump up the PCU. And yeah, that will be basically it. So we'll go okay. And we'll start. Now, this stream will be survival for 3 hours. I have all the DLC installed, just for people wanting to know. But today's objective, building a base, getting a basic rover operational to mine surface rock, and we'll go from there depending on where we land. And we're streaming, lads and ladies, so let's begin. Hopefully. Oh, look at that. That's actually really quite nice. So, parachute. There it is. So, yeah, that's a hydrogen. That's mostly ice, which is good. Lots of trees. Fairly flat, which is nice. And there's me. Hi. Let's hope. Crunch, bang, we're down, we're in. Let's begin. So, first and foremost, base location. Let's work out where we're going to put that. Now, oh, look at that. That's actual... Now, this is really good. This is decent spawn. Ow. What is in this? Oh, silver straight off the bat. I loved your work, Space Engineers. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is a Space Engineers god. He is called Lord Clang. I'll worship Lord Clang. For anyone who doesn't know, just let me know if the volume is too high. But I want to GPS this. New from current position. And it is a G for silver. Trying to remember my high school chemistry. Current position, that'll be fine. That'll be all from there, which is good. And what you'll find is that's now got a little beacon on it. Makes my life just a little bit easier when trying to work out where everything is floating around. So. Ow. Now, for this, where's the... There it is. Alright, let's just queue up that. Now, base-wise, fairly flat, which is nice. I don't like this tree. This tree can go die. What's the first thing that Kuno does when he lands on a planet? I found a tree! Okay, what are you going to do with it? Cut it down with a grinder. And... badunk. It's gone. It should despawn shortly. I hope. Maybe. And off to go to wherever it is for Lord Clang. But in all seriousness, let's go. This is your paint coloration. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. We'll make it yellow today. And let's grab some plates. Now, the first things I like to do is build a platform with a couple of really good utensils on it. Mostly 2 wind farms and a basic assembler and refinery. Which hopefully I'll be able to get done in the next hour or so. But, oh, here's good enough. Now, this is the start of my new base. I have 25. Each one requires at least that baseline. Whoops. Requires down the bottom. You can see there, you know, light armor block requires 25. Okay, fine. We'll just go with. You need at least one of the baseline to begin its construction. Go 5 out. And still have 16. So I'll go 5 by 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should really build a ramp. Ow. And I have 1 plate left. Because I ground down the other one, it just gives me 1. So I'll put it there. Now, with Space Engineers, you have building planet. This is quite important for large vessels. Now, for those of you who haven't played Space Engineers, then feel free to treat this as like a beginner's tutorial or, you know, something of that effect. Just, you know, or if you're watching back the vlog, this is how you start out in single player or how you start out in survival, assuming you don't have other people to join you. But what you can actually do is you can specify in this list, this will get bigger as you get more and more blocks, I suppose, under progression. Because it does have a progression system. But let's go with a wind turbine. And you can hit this button here with it selected like this to add it to your build planner. And what this will mean is that you can now use some shortcuts to then go, right, I need these parts to build it. Right, fair enough. And you can see down here it's actually auto-populated for me as well. Yay. But what you can now actually do is let's go to our little survival kit. And you can use this function here. Add components from build planner to production queue. What this effectively means is that you can put in what you've got in your build planner, in our case a wind turbine, and you can say to the survival kit, I want this number of items. Now it won't show up in here, this just expands everything out, but if we now go to production, you can see here it's now gone, right, I need 30 interior plates, 2 computers, 8 motors, some interior, I think that's construction components? Yep. And some girders. Right, fair enough. Now, with this also, you may be wondering, how do you get all this stuff? Well, this is where this gravel comes into play. Now, you've played Minecraft, right? Well, this is a voxel-based one. And by right-clicking, you can drill down a little bit. But if I hold down the left click, hey look, stone. So let's get an inventory of stone and go from there. Now, inventory is not based off numbers, it is based off volume. So the more volume an item has, the more inventory space it takes up. So let's just grab some stuff. Now, I'm just drilling down dirt at the moment, but let's see if I can get to stone. Come on. No, still more dirt. Oh, here we go. Let's just... And you can just hold down the F key to collect more and more, and away you go.
Inventory full.
There we go. Inventory full. Now, hull. Okay. I have a jetpack. It runs off hydrogen, so I'll be using it fairly sparingly at the start until at least I get some ice, which over in that direction is a massive ocean / lake, which I'll be getting my rover to deal with at the time. So we now have stone. Now, to make, at the start off with, rather than getting like iron, nickel, silicon, magnesium, cobalt, platinum, all those sort of fun utensils, we have to start out with stone. So if we toss this into the survival kit, it will now churn out the prereqed stone refining to now create our, iron, nickel, and silicon. And you can see here that this will eventually just churn through. And we'll just toss that into there as well. Now, another option is if you need to get the parts built quickly, is you can drag this to the back. So this will tell the assembler, my gravel making is lowest priority. I want you to manufacture all these component parts first before going back to refining. Which, when starting out, is always nice because you can then go, right, I can actually start building stuff whilst this is away doing its thing. And you can also note on here that this is what's available, this is what it needs. So let's go grab some more stone. Wherever my hole's gone, here it is. Yeah. You come pre-built with a set of lights on your hard suit anyway, so that's always good. Just take that off. So when you start getting into like space, or if you're in a hallway with no lights, you can just switch your own lights on. You can build lights and floodlights and all sorts of fun stuff as well. But,
Inventory full.
It would help if I hit the X key to do that. Yeah. I'm going to fall in that hole at some point, at some stage. And it's going to be like, you fell in a hole. Yeah, I kind of did. Kind of deserve that one. And you can see here, as I've come back, it's now gone through and made all of these little component parts. As I've requested it to do so. Yay! So good. So we'll just toss that back in there. Ow. So yeah. Inevitable project for today is base construction, or at least establishment, and first rover. And just some, I guess tutorials would probably be a good option as well. I mean, for those of you who haven't played Space Engineers or are fairly new to it or want to get into it, you can treat this as a, in the wise words of the Yogscast, surviving day one. Yeah. I remember that coming out donkeys ages ago. Anyway. So yeah, at the moment we're just waiting on the nickel. There is a stone over there for those of you who've just joined us with silver, which was a lucky find. And there is a ice lake over in that direction there. Fairly flat where I've landed as well for this particular seed, which is quite nice. Ow. But anyway, back to getting more stone. Hopefully once I do have my rover constructed, I can use this to find out the surface spots.
Full.
So similar to the silver that's over there, you can find, I think it's like cobalt, silicon, nickel, iron, all of those fun ones in the various ore deposits. And the rover that I've designed actually does have a drill on the front, so it can either do surface skimming, or it can, you know, chew through one of those there. So I think that's all production's done. Yep. Now, what you can also do is with your welder out, you can use the middle mouse button and it will take out all of the component parts that were listed on your build planner. So I now have all the parts to build a wind turbine. So let's build one. And because it's energy production, we'll flag it as blue. Cool. And you just hold out the build girder, and away you go. And you can see there on the right, you've got the functional and hack, and then you've also got, you know, the component parts and what have you. So if something gets damaged, you'll know, okay, it's missing, you know, for example, 12 girders. It's suddenly missing. So to bring it back up to capacity, you would then go from there. What I also like to do is get a control panel. And we'll just toss it there. And the reason for that is it just means that I've got ready access to the base. So let's do what we did last time. Go here. Hit this button. And because it's got all the parts, it should automatically make the components for me. Now I'd like to say welcome to the people who have just joined and who've you know, following me now. Thank you very much. It's always nice to know that you're appreciated when you start doing this sort of stuff for the first time. So, with the control panel, it just means that I can see what's happening in the base platform, as we'll call it. And you can see here, this wind turbine is outputting 213 kilowatts. Its current output is 1 watt. Its wind clearance is poor. Now, the reason for that is it's fairly low on the ground, and yeah, pretty much it. I mean, you can use solar if you want. The problem with solar is you only get half throughout the course of the day. Because, you know, as soon as night falls, no power. So that's where batteries and stuff like that come into play. Ooh, unknown signal. We'll go to that in a moment. Now, next on the list is the basic assembler and refinery. So let's get one of those. So we'll add that to our build planner. This is where most of this is going to take a while, because you can see here it's going to require a lot of steel plates, even amongst the two. I mean, I can butcher this for a good number of the component parts and, you know, boil stuff down, which I probably will do. But you can see here it's going to take quite a bit to get through it all. Which is fine, I don't mind so much. But let's go to our O2 generator, grab our canister of hydrogen. So, in order for me to refill my hydrogen thrusters and what have you, I need a hydrogen tank. And I only really use it when I'm doing this sort of stuff. But you can see, there's the lake. And our little unknown signal has landed on the lake. So let's go check it out. Or is landing, because it has a parachute. Ha ha ha. Ow. Now, this is all ice, which is required for hydrogen processing and oxygen processing, which is needed when you try to go into space. Now, these little doohickeys, great for parts, great for bits and what have you, And if we hit on... I think it's this one. Yep, special content. As part of the Steam stuff, you can hit the button and... I got a carpet helmet. A helmet made out of carpet. Oh well. But this is what I'm interested in. The special content power and this interior plates. So now I don't have to produce that 25 plates. But with Space Engineers, you can grind down everything. So on that right hand side there where you've got, you know, all the parts, the construction components, radio components, all that sort of stuff, if I grind that down, it's in my inventory. So these little doodads are nice to find and pick up every so often if you're just after parts and what have you, because all these steel plates are now steel plates that are mine. The only thing that you don't get is the battery, because with a battery, how you've got power cells, they will deconstruct into scrap metal. Just, it's a balancing thing that they did a while ago. So you'll see, I should get 2 steel plates, construction components, computer, power cells, construction component, and steel plates. If I deconstruct that, where's my power cells? Oh, it's turned into scrap metal. So I can toss that in the refinery, and it will give me, excuse me, some iron ore, or actual iron afterwards. Right, right. And we'll just toss that away. So all in all, I came out on top by 20 plates, some computers, steel tubes, and what have you. So they're always nice to pick up if they're just sort of floating around in space or if you just want to grind them away. That's a treat. I'd rather avoid becoming a magpie. So, let's grab our parts. So you can also use this, withdraw components from Build Planner, but I like to use the middle mouse button. So, let's go our assembler, which is production. So we'll flag production as green for this run through. Now, on the constructor here, you can see how you've got this little yellow outlined panel. This is for connectors and conveyors and what have you. So if I put that down there, and I go to this basic refinery, just by using the keys to, you know, home, insert, page up, page down, and delete, I can rotate this around. Now, the one thing that you can do with these is those little door things that you can sort of see on there. If I align those 2 doors, this will mean that when these two are built, they will share inventory space and will automatically transfer items between the 2. So let's just build that up, and let's just put stuff in there. So this is just leftover stuff. I don't really need much in the way of it, so let's go to our... where are you? There should be a small cargo container. I don't think I can put anything into it. Nope. Okay, where is that blasted thing? Oh, let's get rid of the front part here because it's going to annoy the shit out of me. Thank you. You too. And these are just free steel plates that I can use on other stuff. Okay. There we go. Where? That's it? Oh, okay, whatever. Don't know where it's hidden away in. But we'll just toss it somewhere. I'll toss them into the survival kit, why not? And if we just use this one here, we'll deposit its stuff in there. So it can't accept the radio components and the steel tubes. Shame, but what can you do? Loot a loot. To refill your hydrogen and oxygen, you use a generator. And you can see here that with some ice, it just automatically refills, which is nice. Let's just sit on the chair for a bit. Now, down the bottom left, you've got your survival stuff. Health, oxygen, power, hydrogen. If you're sitting in like a cockpit with a couple of hydrogens connected to it, or an O2 H2 generator. Oops. Let's just do display. Nope. It would help if I pressed the F key. You can actually regen all your hydrogen and oxygen perfectly fine, which is cool. So, now, back to what we were doing, which was waiting for this to do its stuff. So let's go middle mouse button, grab some of those steel plates, and we'll put it into the assembler first. And I think I can do that. Now, the reason why I want to build the assembler first over the refinery, I'll build both of them anyway, but yeah. The assembler will allow you to construct and deconstruct components. So there's no loss, per se, in engineers in survival. You just get the parts. The only stuff that you can lose is the battery components, because they just turn into scrap, which is frustrating. But stuff like, you know, I've got an excess amount of steel plates, but I need to make motors. You can deconstruct your steel plates into iron so that you can then make them into motors with a bit of nickel, or vice versa. You're all done. And it's very easy to get turned around in this game. So I'll toss the stone there. Let it do its thing. So. Did we get another? Oh, another unknown signal. Okay. They spawn in from time to time, or relatively quickly, all things considered. So, yeah. Which is kind of cool. Okay. Let's take all of those. Okay, so. And as you can see, the sun is now setting on our little thing. Or on our little base. So, we may have to resort to pulling out the hamster and using him for power. If we were on solar, that is. But because we're on wind, aside from, you know, the wind dying down, which does happen, I will openly admit, you don't have to worry too much about, you know, power and what have you. So let's just hop that there. Turn our lights off, and I think we'll deconstruct these atmospheric thrusters. Just sort of getting out of the way.
Inventory full.
Bollocks. And so you can see here that it cannot accept metal grids and your large steel tubes. So I'm going to have to find or build a cargo container on my platform in just a moment. But I can stop that motor construction. And the reason why we can stop that is that we've got 72 of them. So we don't actually need it for it to produce more, you know, more of these parts. So that's 56, we got 82, so let's stop it from building those. Yeah, that's fine. So let's crank out the parts again, and let's put these into our 2 parts. And boom. So yeah, all we're missing from this one is 2 displays and some computers, and this one we are missing out on the copious amounts of steel plates. Okay. Which is fine. Let's toss you in there. Let's toss you into there just for storage. And let's go grab some more iron. So.
Inventory full.
Yes, why thank you, nice lady, that is on my intercom. That my inventory is full. Of course it's full. It's full of stone and rock and just general detritus that I can't do shit with. Do-do-do-do-do. Oops. So that's the thing that can happen in gravity zones is that, you know, gravity is actually a thing. It does exist. Or at least on the high tuning planets anyway. Looks like it's done with the interior components. So let's just grab all this. Ah, just needs computers. And that's requiring what? 69 and 89. Okay. So that's requiring 89 steel plates in total. What have we got in the production queue? Let's get rid of those. Let's bump it up to that. And let's just grab... So you don't need your welder out. You can just use the middle mouse button. I also need... That's what? 80 is 50, 49 computers as well. So by holding down control, you can specify the by 10, holding down shift it's by 100, holding down control and shift is 1000. So we said 39, which is fine. So let's go grab some more stone. This is what a lot of the early game is at this point in time, or at least until you get yourself established. By either getting a rover drill or a flight capable atmospheric craft for drill. Take your pick. Personally, I would say you'd have to go rover first unless you can find cobalt in your immediate vicinity. The reason for that is your thrusters require cobalt to make the metal grids. So without metal grids, you are ground pounding it for the time being. So that's your first major sticking point with this game when you're on the ground, is base establishment, followed by finding a source of cobalt and also silver if you've got some floating around, because silver can be used to make medical components and a few other little neat bits and bobs. Which is fine. So, still got some time to go. So let's grab some more stone and away we go.
Inventory full.
Also, admittedly, if you can find a source of iron, silicon, and nickel, always a good thing as well. Sorry, I had some other bits for this evening that I need to sort out as well, listening on Discord. Ah, so close. So, hence the pause. Just had to listen to a few things.
Inventory full.
Of course my inventory is full. There's a reason for that. How much? Okay, so I was going to say that I need about 500 iron, and I've got 48, so it's going to take a while. But that's fine. Any sort of consolidation of resources is always a good thing. That is dark as fuck.
Inventory full.
Excuse me. Okay, so it's done with the computers. Excellent. Let's grab those computers out. Oh, it's 10 off. Shite. Oh, production. Give me 10 more computers. Okay, thanks, bye. We'll have the lights on for a while now. You can generally get a lot more, but because I'm carrying around these parts that can't be stashed anywhere, it makes life a little bit harder for me to get as much stone as I should be. Whilst gravel may seem like a waste in the early game, it most certainly is. It actually is useful when making reactors, because it is used for reactor components, which is used to make your uranium power reactors. Which is fine. So let's go Shazam. And we'll finish off our assembler. And as you can see there, it did pop up with a message saying, oh, because I've built this basic assembler, I now have more stuff that I can do. But I won't be able to do anything until this is built, because it is in the way. Huzzah. Now, let's go. Yeah, I'm fully aware I can't withdraw those component parts because they don't exist. Oops. Now, the problem is the survival kit cannot disassemble. So as much as I want to rip apart these motors, rip apart these interior plates and construction components, I physically can't. The system will not let me. Because if we go to production, you see here, unable to disassemble. Okay, that's just some tools. Which is fine, I can deal with it. It's just, I have all this iron that I can use that's just stuck in component parts I just can't do anything with. So I am literally stuck in making stuff here. What the hell? Now, I'm not joking when I say this, but that... What? Is it like a, Tatooine, sandstorm coming my way? Or Darude sandstorm coming my way? What the hell? Or is that just, I'm just going to suddenly... Oh, no, it's just the fading to black. But seriously, that was a weird effect. Now I've lost track as to what I was doing. That's right, more stone. Okay, so I'm still a ways off getting the amount of iron I need. But, yeah. Not a lot you can do about that. I was going to keep my lights on for you guys, but I decided that no, I'll just turn them off for force of habit.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Nothing else? No? Okay. So it's saying I need about, 200 more iron, which is fine. What is going on with this? What planet have I decided to land on, I guess? Or I was spawned on, because, these are things that happen. Reminds me of Satisfactory, where it's just like, hey, we'll just add you to the list of individuals that are just shot to this world to, industrialize it, take all the cute little squid dogs and stuff like that, and just go, oh, you're so cute. Welcome to the Industrial Revolution, bitch. But, these things exist, these things do happen, these things are a problem. Right. How much more? I'm just wondering how many more trips I need to do before my refinery is complete. Looks like at least another 2. I'm probably going to have to grab my bottle of H2 in a moment.
Inventory full.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's going to require at least another load. I mean, I can... Actually, what I might do, rather than doing that, is butcher the top part of my little craft. I know he's been here with us for the entire duration, but needs must be done. Actually, that's what I can do. Oh, I'm an absolute idiot. Or one of the mods that I prefer to use is Azimuth's ore detector. You do have these, they cost a fair bit in the absolute grand scheme of things, but I think I can afford one. If only for... So, 221... Now, this does say space only, and the reason for that, and I'll show you guys. Let's go there. Is if I go plonk and boop. And we'll go into our share control panel. Nope. Let's find a control panel. That'll work. This thing can absolutely go to 250 meters, like 2.5k. So if I trigger that, hopefully, if it's going to work or not, turn it off and on again. So you're telling me that there is no, ores within 2.5Ks? What? It was not a Tatooine sandstorm. It was a rainstorm. Actually, that's not turning on. Oh well. Worth a try. Oop. So I'll just stash the component parts. Just need 70 more. Excellent. So we'll grab... That detector component is absolute chonky boy. Oop.
Inventory full.
Please have enough. It's probably not going to be enough. Oh, God damn it. I know I can toss the component parts on the floor, but... do not particularly want. That's a burp on my band. I mean, I've got like nearly 1.5 kilos worth of gravel. That's not a lot. That's like, half a milk container of fluid. Are you? Oh, for fuck's sake! Just give me what I want, please. Thank you. Say, fuel low, fuel critical, out of fuel. Well, shite. Yay, hold on. So, let's go. My spot. And we'll go boop. And we'll just delete that off there. And we will build our basic refinery. Now, I don't think this has enough power to operate. Might do. Wind turbines outputting at 234. Refinery requires 330. Control... Assembler requires 280. So yeah, I can't actually use these until I build another one of these. So... let's do that. I do have 4 parts left, so I want to go... Actually, no, we're yellow for this base, aren't we? Oop. And we'll put another wind turbine down. So we'll go wind. Hit the build planner. Toss it in there. Our turbines will be blue. And we'll go dunk. Add the parts. And away you go. So. Now, what I could have done is hit a button there that says, oh, just use the parts that you've already got floating around in there. Which is fine. So we'll just toss this in here, in here, here, in here, in here, and in here. And we'll toss them there. So this frees up my inventory. They'll just sit in the basic assembler until such time as I decide to move them. And... right. So... actually, just so I don't get stuck down in the thing, if I go boom, I should. I was just refilling my power. Just topping up my H2. Because hydrogen. Where's my hole? There it is. You know, funny comment. It's like, get in the hole. Okay. But I'm not up, just get in the hole.
Inventory full.
And you can see here by me not carrying anything, I'm carrying 3,500 kilos worth of stone. Which is just insane. So yeah, and because I hit the button, it's saying, "Oh, I need to build these motors," even though I had them. I'm an idiot. But you know, you can never have too many of the component parts, just because of what you're making.
Inventory full.
So yeah, once this is all done, I'll basically be tearing this all apart and putting it down on this base here. The only problem being is that if I run out of power because of my wind turbines, as you can see, it is dropping, so I'm losing wind, which is frustrating, but what can you do? Not a lot. Are you going to have enough iron? No, he's not. Bollocks. That's fine. Well, the windstorm is left off, which is nice. Means I don't have to listen to the rain. Though, admittedly, I do like the rain. There's just something cathartic about listening to rain on a tin roof that you're just like, yeah, I can listen to this all night, snark. Wake up in the morning, you got that smell of, you know, summer heat abated by the smell of rain. That fresh smell to it. Just something about it that's just like, nice. But then again, I'm also a bit of a weirdo, so... eh. Okay, I still got more than enough. Let's swap that to the back. Now, once my basic refinery is complete, I will not need the... well, once this is operational, I won't need that one to do stuff, because it will automatically refine all of the stuff all of the stuff. It will automatically refine the what's this in total? 189 times 2, that's 236,378. So yeah, I can run one of these. Excellent. Which is good. So let's just grab everything out of you. I'll show you what I mean. If I just go Shazam, automatically does it. Let's just do that. Now, production. Let's go to the tools. What do I need for that? I need cobalt and silicon. So that requires cobalt, that requires silicon, that requires cobalt. So I could make one of these. And I'm going to. Because this is the enhanced drill. So, this is always nice to have a spare one of these. So, if I just go into there. In order for me to use it, you go G. We'll go to Character Tools. And you can see here you've got Enhanced, Proficient, Elite. Elite is the highest one you can go. And we'll just drag our enhanced drill down to here. And you can see I've pulled it out. Which is nice. Now, what do we do about the other drill? Well, that's my welder. Hock it in there. Production. Disassemble. Shazam. Just gets rid of it. And adds it to the ever-increasing pile of iron, nickel, and silicon that I've got floating around. Now, I could deconstruct these metal grids to get the cobalt versions, but I don't particularly want to. The reason for that is the metal grids are required for something else that I want to produce, which is a cargo container. So, we'll go with a small cargo container at large. You can see here, 4 metal grids. So add that to a build list. We'll toss that in here. And again, like our constructor, it has doors all the way around, which is neat and tidy. Now, storage, I feel as though today is going to be a white color, and we can hock that there. If I actually had an interior plate on me. No. Let's do that. So, one of the other neat little things is if you hit that button and then go, right, I want to press, or I just want the parts that is the difference. Now that I've got these parts in here, the build planner has already gone, right, you've already got these parts. If we hit that, it will now only produce the missing components. Which is really, really quite nice. And then we can go to inventory. Well, actually, we'll do the middle mouse button. We will go here to make sure that that's right. Boop. There you go. So we now have, on our little base platform... Oh, sorry. On our little base platform, 2 wind turbines, a basic refinery, a cargo container, and a basic assembler. So, now that's done, we will rename this cargo container as... let's just go component. It's probably not how you spell that, but I don't care. And we'll just drag all of our components into this container. And just the reason for that is that it frees up the container down here for just the assembly, which is cool. So, now, next on the list to build will be a... Yeah, next on the list will be a actual assembly line and an actual refinery. Because these are just the basic ones. They are absolutely atrocious, but they're really good at iron and stuff. But these other ones can just do everything. Just going to take the top layer of this off. Might actually go after that unknown signal, to be honest. One can never have too many steel plates and components. Ah. Let's go light. Let's just recharge my power. And when you get to the higher, the medical bay, you'll be able to recharge your power, hydrogen, and oxygen all in the same location, assuming you have connected the hydrogen and oxygen to it. No. The Aviary stream saved. But yeah, relatively flat this actual one. I usually land in like the tundra or the savannah, and it's just like, it's just going to be bumpy as fuck. I don't particularly want it to be bumpy, but hey, it is. So once again, let's just see what we've got. Badger drill. Right. Let's disassemble this. Components are better in my hands than in theirs. Now, cargo container. Let's go here. Steel plates and space credits. Oh, this is gonna suck. There it is. I'm probably gonna die. Human skip roping people. Oh well. And now I've got to walk 1.5 kilometers, which is about, I think, half a mile. So yeah, fun. Oh yeah, running backwards at 6 meters per second. That's just, yeah. Just running through the countryside without a care in the world. Now, that moon you can actually go to. So, all the planets, that planet, that one, the moon, you can go to, which is cool. There are asteroids that exist in the world, so you can visit them. They are basically everywhere. So yeah, you can visit all that, which is kind of cool. Personally, never been to one. I've never really spawned on them, to be honest. I've only gotten ever so far as to actually going into outer space and going from there, but eventually with this particular stream, which I may do every Saturday, is just the inevitable plan, or what I want to build, is a space elevator. Because I feel as though that's going to be fun. I do have some ships already pre-built in a blank world, just for, I'm just going to make this because I want to see how it operates. So I'll show, I don't know if I'll get to it tonight. I might do. But the rover that I've designed, or at least got a couple of designs for, will be able to go from there. And we're back home. Yay! Thank you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go K, GPS, new from current position, and we'll go the Aviary. And the description is the base of operations for the flock. And we'll make it a nice orange colour. Oop. And what you can see there is now we have a GPS location. So if I ever decide to go gallivanting around the countryside and go, I'm now like 3,000 kilometers out, where the hell do I need to go? Oh, there's my GPS location. Yay. Now, I got a whole sort of stuff on there, which is nice. 84 steel plates. So we'll go shazam, just to dump everything. Oh, and you can see there the iron scrap metal instantly got pulled into the refinery, which is another neat little trick. Let's just toss the space crates in there. I don't have an ATM yet. Right. So, next on the list will be a survival kit relocation. Actually, I probably want to bring them up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Now, if you hold down right click and drag, you can specify the amount. I'll do 20. Oops. And I'd completely forgotten that I set the... I'm going to have to remember that my numpad 1 and 2 are set to swap between the scenes. So, I'm an idiot. But what I want to do is I want to drag this down. And I want to actually go up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then we'll go out by 4. 2. Oops. Some weird reason it likes to do that. Yes, that's my donation to Lord Clang, the physics engine that exists here for space engineers. He just decided that, nah, you've placed that down, so yeah, I'll accept where that goes. And you're just like, please, Lord Clang, I don't want it to be there. But Lord Clang decides to do what Lord Clang wants, and Lord Clang says that thing needs to be on the floor. And I've not changed the colour on that. Another neat little trick. You can middle mouse button, and it just does it anyway. Also, by me moving this, it actually adds more space on the ground floor, which is nice. I'm probably going to run out of jetpack fuel and die. Can I do it before my fuel runs out? Yes, I can. Oh, that was close. Okay. Now I've got those two up there. What you'll find is they previously were pumping out like 180 kilowatts per hour. Look at that. Just by me moving them upstairs and away from everything, basically doubles for both of them, which is excellent. Absolutely excellent news. So let's decommission that. Let's toss the remaining 7 in the bin. And now, O2 generator, I think, is going to be the next task. You know, 120 steel plates, which is fine. But let's just go withdraw first. Boop. I'm requesting 46 of them. And I don't think I've got any iron. No, don't have enough iron. Which is fine. But what I can now do is it 6? No, that's a refinery. I didn't put it on my bar. O2. We'll toss that down there. So. And I feel as though it's going... that way. So that way, and because it's oxygen generation, it will be a white color as well. Feel. Oh, let's give it a bit of a design. Let's make it our carbon fiber. Sure, why not? Boop. I'll just make sure I set that back. So yeah, I'm just requiring some steel plates to go into it, which is fine. So let's go grab some more iron. Now I have the enhanced drill, don't I? Yes, I do.
Inventory full.
Yeah, of course my inventory is full. Now if I just go shazoom, that should pull into here. And you can see that it's automatically pulling the ferrite, or the iron, into the basic assembler for it to be used to make steel plates. And you're probably wondering, oh, why do I call it ferrite? Well, basic high school chem, iron was previously ferrous, ergo ferrite. I'm probably butchering some poor bastard's chemistry degree, but, you know, high school science. Speaking of high school science, just whilst I'm collecting some stone, funny story. Year 11, 12 chemistry, I can't remember which particular year.
Inventory full.
Actually, no, it was year 12 because we were dealing with alcohol. And no, I'm not talking about the stuff that you can drink out of the Tui's extra dry. This is actual proper, you know, chemistry grade alcohol. We were actively dealing with metals that, you know, react with alcohol in such odd ways. And we were explicitly told, do not, you know, put water on these because they will, you know, combust. So, at the end of the hour-long class, it turns out that one of my mates, or at least, you know, colleagues, school students, person that didn't actively hate me, tipped it down the sink. Now, you'd think, okay, it's a sink, that's fine, and away you go. The sink caught fire. Because it reacted with some of the small amount of water that was left over, it just went phoom. Now, the average human being would go, right, sink, water, down there, just drain it out. No. He jumped back, screamed like a little girl, to which point our science teacher just went, you're an idiot, or that expression of, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, and walked on over casually and just turned the sink on. Which, to be fair, is what you should do. But it was just this case of him just freaking out about setting the sink on fire. I've never let him live that down. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, though. That should be enough. I mean, I could probably fly over there if I really want to, but I'm not in the mood. At least not this particular design one. Boop. I should almost have enough. Almost. Trying that. Right, so if I go boop, count withdraws 6 steel plates. Why? Oh. Okay. Still needs more iron. Actually, I might just butcher that for it. Let's go in here, production, terminate that. And we'll just yank the 6 steel plates off of this. So, there is that. How many do I have? 5. Now, I do plan on eventually ripping this whole thing apart and just, leaving it alone and doing its stuff, but... What am I doing? I'm an idiot. Boop. Which I will do, but I'm doing it incrementally, just so that I've still got access to stuff. By building the O2 generator, you have unlocked additional stuff. Yay! Let's go here. Let's grab our hydrogen, oxygen, and ice. Decommission this. Wow, that entire plate was being held up by the O2 generator. What shonky-ass design did that? I mean, I will openly admit and say that, my designs for ships is, leaves much to be desired. There's the cargo container. What the hell are you doing in there? Whatever. We'll just take you from that. And I will take the pistol, the magazines, and the GPS coordinate. Blah, 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 blah. Where is that? It's not showing. Ah, there you are. Let's show this on the HUD and see where that is. Oh my lord. That is on the other side of the planet. Oh, guess what? Guess what, Spammer Station? Delete. Now, if I was to get over there, I can effectively trade with them if I wanted to. But realistically speaking, I don't particularly want to do that sort of crap. There's just no need. That should all be stashed. And you can see here the ice got pulled straight into the O2 generator. So we'll just toss our oxygen in there. Just because I want to keep the hydrogen just in case. Now, what I do want to build on here is a control seat. Seat? No? It's probably hidden away in progression somewhere. Ah, yes. There they are. So I need to build a landing gear, which I will cheat. Oh look, I've built a landing gear. Just makes life easier. And then I also need to do a seat of some description. Oh no, it's just giving me access to them. Lovely stuff. Because I do want... I mean, you can use a control station, which is fine. It'd help if I spell. But I personally quite like for my stations to have this type of design. Backing away. Now for that, I do need a whole slew of computers. So let's just see what we've got thus far. Seat. Just toss a control seat down there. This is the reason why I like my control seats. It actually looks kind of cool. And for a, base of operations, always nice. Control is going to be red today. I think I may have accidentally made it out of carpet. But let's back order a whole slew of stuff. But you can see here, I do not have enough silicon, I do not have enough iron. Which is annoying. Right. Now, this particular trip was going to be for... Just getting power back. This particular trip was going to be for the ice, because I'd like to get some more of that just in case. Oh, it's passenger seat. And watch as I collide into a tree like some poor budgerigar that's just gone squeak, squeak, slam. The amount of times that I've had to deal with birds flying into my windows. Yes, come on to me, ice. I mean, I don't need a lot right now, because I just have the hydrogen thrusters. What the hell was that? I was just saying, oh, just more ice. Yeah, because I've just got the hydrogen thrusters on my jetpack and that's it, I don't need a lot of ice. But once I get to the point where I need hydrogen for my thrusters to get into outer space, key point with that is that you do need the hydrogen thrusters, because your atmospheric ones only go to about 7,000 meters, or 7Ks. The remaining 33 Ks to the outer atmosphere is something like you need hydrogen. What's I saying there? Boop. So this 3,000 will do me just for fecking around and all that. I'm going to go to the unknown signal. It's probably just another one of those block things. Can never be without too many of the steel plates. But also in saying this, I can use running around as a opportunity to keep an eye out for outcrops of any form of stone, because you can get massive seams underground, like truly monstrous seams. Boop. Carpet? Nope, nothing. Not worthy of my attention, apparently. For those, well, for that who is watching, just letting you know is that I plan on streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, and possibly Saturdays. The reason behind the dates is because I do work, and this sort of is more of a hobby for mine than anything else. But the inevitable plan may be to actually become full-time. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. I mean, I could probably just sit here and do this for like a couple of years and just not get into obscurity or anything like that, but who cares? But yes, so Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday afternoons, +8 GMT for the Tuesday, and the Thursdays will be 7 PM till 10 PM, 8+ GMT. And for Saturdays, it will be from 1 till 4 GMT, because I do have other stuff that I need to get done on a Saturday as well. Shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug. Yeah. There's a whole slew of credits in that one. Bit of trash. But always nice to go and deal with those. Whee! I apologise to anyone who gets motion sickness. Probably switch those off now because we are starting to get into the morning, which is nice. And it is coming up to 2:30. Okay. And because these all are connected, I can just drop stuff in between the inventories, which is nice. So, right, I need more iron. So.
Inventory full.
Now, there is a feature in this game which I quite like, which I've only just worked out myself, even though I've played this game for years, that you can do, which is the blueprint system. Now, in a creative mode game, you can build whatever the hell you damn well please. But if you want to bring that into a survival world, you can't necessarily do that. So what they've implemented is a local-based save file system wherein you can make designs or pull them off the Steam Workshop, and with the help of a projector block, you can build it
Inventory full.
in a survival game and use it in survival. So I actually have a capital ship called The Brick, which I will hope to plan to build someday. Maybe in this stream. Well, it won't be this particular stream, but it'll certainly be on the Aviary. The Aviary. And yeah, from there it will just be, it's basically a refining brick. So it's got hydrogen thrusters to move around. It's got two O2 generators. It's got a massive hydrogen tank. It's got a refinery. It's got an assembler. It's basically just a mobile base in space. We'll take out the component parts and we'll build our control panel. There we go. Now, the reason why I built this is quite simple. I can turn the entire platform off with the press of the Y button. And, whoops. And you can see that all of my stuff is now offline. And if I go into here and press Y again, everything comes back online. This one is designed more for... designed more for capital ships and what have you, but I just like the design of it, so it can stay on my base. Sometimes what you may find you have to do is if your system is not working, so for example a hydrogen engine is just not working properly or something is just fucking up, you can do the old tech support thing of, have you tried turning it off and on again? You'd be surprised at how often I have to answer questions about that. It's like, I'm trying to do this. Why isn't it working? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yeah. Okay, have you tried plugging it in? That's another fun one. I have stories. It is just absolute carnage when it comes to those things. It's just like, oh, hey, guess what? I used to work for a telco company. And one of the things that we used to do there was ports. So transferring one number from one carrier to another. And I remember fondly, I was on the phone to some old guy, trying to help him out with the port and what have you, or telling him how to do it. And this is back in the day when your phones, you could pull off the back, pull the battery out, put the SIM card in, done, dusted, move on. So I'm explaining to this poor guy, just to say, all you need to do is pull the back off the phone, pull the battery out, replace the SIM. Because I think it was like an old Nokia or something like that, This is something like 8 years ago. And I'm on the phone. And out of the blue, I hear click, 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 and then the phone goes dead. It takes me a couple of moments to realise that the old guy, and bless his cotton socks, actually pulled the battery out whilst he was on the phone to me. And I'm just like... How do I even react to that? How do I even, answer the question of what do I even do in this circumstance? So, I never knew what happened to the old guy. Which is a shame. Right, survival kit, next on the list. So, just some random stories with Kuno. It's survival, isn't it? Yes, survival. How is this? Oh, okay, yeah, because it's part of the production queues. Are they actually the same cost? They are indeed. I'm actually using the industrial one this time around. Big one, add to my planner. Oh, dragging down there. This thing is a bit of a chonky boy. But if I rotate that around a couple of times to be there, and it'll be the white coloration in. Yeah, we said this was carbon fiber, didn't we? I need some steel plates. Let's just get the steel plate down anyway. Okay. Now, let's toss that away. Let's just show something else. Now, another neat little trick that you can use with Space Engineers is by putting the block down, it's now entity existing. Thank you, unknown signal. 3Ks that way. Can fuck off. If you hold down the right mouse button and let go, it automatically adds the components to the build planner. So you can see down here, it says, I only need 29 steel plates, which is awesome. And another thing that you can do is by middle mouse button, it says, cannot withdraw 3 medical components. But because of all this inventory space that I already had built up, and all the component parts I had built, all that I'm lacking from this now is the medical components. And if I drill down this, I'll grind this down. Up there it is. I've now got 3 medical components. And it's just a straight transfer onto it. Which is cool. Boop. Boom. And you can see here, this is now linked up. So when I hold down the F key, you'll notice that my hydrogen and power will both go up. And the reason for that is that it is connected by a conveyor, or by this port, against the O2 generator. Pretty snazzy, don't you think? Oh, okay. Sorry. This evening I actually am part of a D&D campaign that we colloquially refer to as Fog of War. It is a Werewolf 20 campaign set during the 1940s. So yes, set during World War II. And the group is currently discussing about the fact that the Mage Handbook has suddenly decided to go, nah, PDFs aren't working. Which is a problem. That's something we can deal with later. Wait, is that a... That is a hydrogen thruster. I did not know that. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I unfortunately had to miss out on my D&D session last night because of mental health issues. It's what happens when you go through 11 days worth of training at the office, and you're just like, my brain is so full of just generic shit. How do I even operate? And 9 times out of 10, it's just a case of you can't. You just have to sleep, or you have to do this for brain reset. No, that's a large one. Don't want large, want small. Now, the reason why I'm building this out here is because I want to start construction on my little rover. So if I go boop, it will land, and I will just build this. So this is in white carbon fiber because I haven't changed anything. This will be the start of my rover once I get around to it, which will hopefully be shortly. But I just want to sort of pull this all apart and just store the components and go from there. Steam ships, what have you. Oh, okay. So yeah, the landing pad was all operating on this one here. Because it's all disconnected, it's just shunted onto the other one there, and it's just collapsed onto the ground and just gone, I'll just stand here. Whilst Space Engineers is very much a physics-based game, you can abuse the shit out of Clang. And Clang will openly abuse the shit out of you. So, But nothing I can do about Lord Clang at the moment, aside from praise his name and his mercy that my entire base has not collapsed in onto itself. Because, I mean, that's what... If these are like meter by meter blocks, or at least, 2 meters tall, that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 meters, which would be about the size of a 3-story building. So you've got, on top of a 3-story building, at least 10 meters out, 2 wind turbines that probably weigh in excess of half a ton each. They're just floating up in the air. All because this one pylon is connected to the floor. Again, Clang giveth and Clang taketh away. See what I might do? Double click. Boop. Now, what you can also do is by double-clicking with the right mouse button. Oh, sorry, double-clicking with the left mouse button. I've got those two mixed up. You can actually add it to automatic mode. So it will automatically just keep whirling around or keep drilling, which is good when you're just deconstructing something like a lander. Boop. More steel plates can go in there. Right. Now that is basically a beacon, a timer block. Don't know why. And just a light, which I will degrade. So, that's fine. But we'll toss all the component parts into here. And it is a projector, which I don't have access to yet because I haven't unlocked it in the progression queue. Which there it is. So, in order to unlock something, let's build a light. Interior plates. I think they are. That's a solar panel. Nope, it's construction components. Not interior plates, constructions. I've stashed away that. Again, I hit the wrong button. I'm so used to using the... I need 2, thank you. So used to using the numpad for that sort of stuff, and then I've got to realise that I've set that to change scenes in my software package. There we go, light's been built. So I'll need to stop doing that, otherwise, you'll suddenly go to a black screen and wonder, what has Kino done this time? I've made it a black screen. So that's cool. Now, I'll have unlocked the projector block, which is cool. Which is this little nifty block here. So I want to go small. It's programmable, that's projector. Go away. Let's see. Oh, all parts were successfully removed. Awesome. And I will just toss that there. Because I'll go projector on this. Build it. Shazam. Now what I need is a small battery. Now, when you build a battery, it has a amount of power already in it. Which is nice for when you're building stuff with a projector block. But yeah, you kind of do lose a little bit out on the power. So unless you're strapping it directly to your base as a large, well, as a large grid, but I'll need to experiment a bit. But my rover is a small grid, so I'll be doing this on the small. Let's decommission this because I'll need to. I'll get something like 20 scrap metal. Yep. Did I get all that? Yeah, I did. I'm nowhere near full. And no more respawn pod. Oh. But these things do happen, and have to happen from time to time. Now, if we go to production, let's have a look at the power cells. So yeah, power cells require 3.33 kilos of iron, 330 grams of silicon, and 67 grams of nickel, which I believe I've got more than enough of. Yeah. So the mass, unlike those who are sitting in anywhere else in the country or anywhere else in the world that uses the metric system, this is all in metric. We don't deal with Imperials. Unless, of course, you're the Sith Empire, at which point, yes, you are the Imperials, so why the hell not make everyone just go by the Imperial system? It's an odd choice. One of the few things that I personally have no idea why or why not, there's just... yeah, it's just something that's confused me, I guess. I need 2 power cells, so build me some power cells. There you go. It's just confused me a little bit as to, why the the powerhouse that is the Americans decide to go, you know what, we're not going to abide by your rules and we'll just use the Imperial system, even though everyone else has moved to metric. Boop. And there you go. So that is now active. And this little battery will chuggle away. Now, I do need a control panel. It would help if I could spell. So I'll grab a small control panel. Small one. And we'll attach it there. Now, the reason behind the control panel, and I'll show you in a moment, is this little setup. If I now go to control panel, and I go to our projector, you can see here you've got a whole slew of options. And what I'd like you to do, or what I'd like this thing to do, is we'll go blueprints. And you can see here, you've got a whole slew of stuff in here. There it is. And I will go with you. Thank you very much. Multiple grids not supported. Only the largest grid will be saved. Thank you kindly. And you can see here that my exocraft or device has decided to go, I'm going to do this. So let's go to K. Let's go to our projector. And let's change this a little bit, shall we? In the wise words of Timon and Pumbaa, get a pen. Is it pitch or yaw? Nope. That's the wrong direction. I would very much like it. Now it's on its side. Is that? No, that's not what I want you to do, game. now you get to watch as I try desperately to try and finagle this thing. Right. Okay. So, now what I need is for it to turn to the other direction. I'm going to rename this actually to A. Now the reason why pops up at the top. Oh. Oh, we may have actually had some success here, boys. Hey! Yes! A projector, and I'd like you to go vertical offset up, up, uh, 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 uh. There we go. So that is the design.
Energy low.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that is the general design of the... It's basically a piece of shit rover. But this hinge actually connects to another couple of bits. So the hinge itself will connect to like a drill or through to a grinder welder arrangement. But this all self-powers. So you can see that in the back here it's got a gyroscope, it's got 2 batteries, and it's got a connector. Now eventually the connector I'll probably plug coming out the back of this cargo container out here, so that once this is built, away you go. Now what I'm going to need to do is, first and foremost, let's go K. Alright, let's grab a couple of steel plates. And again, I keep using the numpad. Thankfully it's not the right buttons. Now, if I go... boop. And then... boop. I'll weld this in place. Weld this in place. And if I just go K... A projector... I want to show only buildable. So now the entire thing has disappeared, but what it will do is it will only show me the parts that are buildable. Which is good, because what this means is I can then go, right, so what am I building right now? Okay, it's the leg. And I'll show you what I mean. And it will instantly add the parts as you go. Now this is good when you've got like a station welder or something to that effect where you can now go, right, so the only problem with this is that you have no idea as to what has been built and what hasn't been. But what I'll do is I'll go, okay, I'll turn the projector off, just because the small battery unfortunately does not have a lot of power. But that is now the start of my rover being constructed, which is cool. But it is now nearly 3 o'clock. I need a bit of a breather, so I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to leave the background music playing just because of reasons, but I'm going to go on a 5-minute break. So once I come back, we'll continue with our construction of the rover. And I'm back after the obligatory 5-minute breather. I fault that for work. Mostly it's a case of, oh hey, you know, with work, you kind of have to, get up every hour or so and, take a 5-minute breather to do, stuff. So, yeah, just sort of bleeding over from that. But, where were we? Ah, yes, that's right. Rover. Now, let's just refill our H2, because I know I'm going to need that. Thank you. Let's grab a whole feck ton of plates. And we'll turn our projector back on. So, sound on my side's being a bit awkward. I'm not too sure why. And we'll go up to here, and we'll start now. Building. Now, the other thing to make note of, I have not experimented with this particular design in a live game, so steel plates. Oh, I've still got plenty. What I'm going to do is come underneath. And you can see, just slowly but surely. Did I not change the design of that side one? Oh, I mustn't have done. Oh. Yeah, and as you can see, as you build, more and more parts become showing up, and away you go. So, as I said earlier in the stream, it's just a case of just systematically going through and doing this, and having a world wherein you can just experiment with, like an open world, is always good, because then it means you can just go, okay, here's the design that I want to build, and just feck around with creative mode and bring it into survival for, the next half of whatever it is that you're doing. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to finish this because these require the metal grids, which I haven't found cobalt for. So whilst the overall design will be able to build it, I won't actually be able to finalize everything on this design because I have no cobalt. But then again, these thrusters are strictly for stability and for getting out of holes, providing that extra level of just drift and jump and just generalized stuff. And yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. You can build ships to actually build ships, which is in unto itself hilarious. But certainly when you get to the high-end stuff of just, okay, I need to actually sit down and build a capital ship. If I do this by hand, it's going to take fecking ages. Hey, you not... Okay. Oh, you're building on this side. Alright, fine, whatever. Yeah, I know I need, that many to build the industrial components. Now you're probably thinking or looking at this going, oh, this is a piece of shit. Well, you know, it probably is. I am not a massive, you know, one of those few individuals that can then go, you know, I can design, you know, an Imperator Mark II Star Destroyer from hand, you know, that side of things. It's just, no. I can barely tie my shoelaces in the morning. What makes you think I can design an Imperator Mark II from my top of my head? But, you know. How many steel plates? I've got 9. Put them on. So, you know, just with some of the steel plates, I've basically nearly built my entire thing from scratch without so much of a problem. But I do need some more plates. Now, how much iron do I have floating around? I have 67. I still want 100. So, we're back to the hole. You know, I would put a rug over it, but the hole monsters tend to get a bit annoying. Or at least, you know, shirty that I'm putting a hole over them. But yeah, once you get something like a cargo container, it just makes these runs so much easier. Because all that you do is just... train of thought. All you need to do is just literally fill up the cargo container, drive on up, connect it with the connector port, and just wait for the resources to come in. And that's where, you know,
Inventory full.
fighters and all sorts of fun stuff pop into place. Top up on my power and of my hydrogen, actually. I think this will be faster. Yes, it is. Some cordial. Keep me going. I would like to find an actual source of iron, cobalt, nickel, and all that. Because the surface ones I can just drive up with the rover that I'm making and just mine it. But certainly with the more deeper resource pits, you're going to need a deep, well, effectively a deep stone miner or something to that effect. A core miner, so to speak. Because with asteroids, you'll find that some asteroids are made completely of the resource, or if it's on the outside, or buried within. But they are effectively infinite. And down the hole we go. I'll have a look at the next level of drill, to be honest. Because if it's... I don't know if they're silver. Because if it is, I'll just go over there and mine some silver. Nah, I can only make the basic ones. Or the advanced ones. Baka. Oh well. Nah, that should be more than enough at the moment. To continue construction of Ah! I was wondering where the arse end of this was going to be. Now, I don't think... Oh no, it will. Excellent. It's just because I think I was in the way. I'd like to say. Ah no, it's because the land mass is in the way. That's fine. So yes, this actually uses the 5x5 off-road tyres. Because I was messing around with one of the DLCs. And I think that's all the major parts of the chassis. Would you look at that? It's almost as if he's done this before. Now you need interior plates, interior plates. Oh! Unknown technology, you have to research it first. Okay, how do I get to my connectors? Please tell me how do I get to my connectors. Where are you hidden away in? Right. So it's a conveyor. I need to build a conveyor. So, let's build one. We'll choose a small conveyor just because they're simple. Actually, what am I doing? Chisel. This is what happens when I get, flustered and I'm like, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's just like, no, you just need to, take 5 minutes, breathe out, just chill. You don't need to do everything at once, but you kind of do. Actually, we'll just build one of these. Boop. There we go. Because now it should accept it. Yay. Oops. Oh, there goes all my steel plates. Oh well. Back to the hole we go.
Inventory full.
I mean, another thing that I have seen online, I was watching Hat Films a while ago, and what they did was they actually built a extension with a piston to drill down and get the stone that way from their actual base, which is an interesting thing to do. But personally, having some mobility around the place is always nice. And semi-stable mobility at that. Let's see if that will now like the... Yep, that liked it. Just by, putting a hole there, you've been able to put that all in, which is good. So... yeah, the reason why there's a hole here is because the conveyor tube will actually come up and connect to this one. Just for the sake of, stone, ores, and all that sort of good stuff. Which is exactly what I need it to do anyway, so... But I don't particularly want to build... the frame around the top there just yet. So let's go with... because also I need to measure to see how far up that is in comparison to the base, just so I can build the connector tubes. So, point 1, build that. Point 2, build a connector on the base. So, let's get to it, I guess. Oh, I do have 4 metal grids sitting there, which is nice. I think I got that from the hydrogen thruster, because the main one actually had one. Not that you can do anything with it, because you didn't actually have a tank or anything like that where it could just burn straight away. It's just instantly burning through like 300 ice, which is just, nah, don't want to do that. It's a stupid move. But, man, what can you do? Not a lot. But this is the thing, with space engineers, it's basically a, you know, problem-solving simulator. Oh, I have this problem, which is my, you know, rover sinks to the ground too much. Why is that? Well, because you haven't set the suspension properly, or, you know, having a couple of thrusters attached to it just to lift them out of holes. Or, you know, just random stuff like that where you can just go, right, how do I fix problem A with solution C? Solution B just didn't work because, you know, people died on that one. And we're just like, we're not talking about that. Tasty, tasty cordial. Right. Let's get to... Thank you. I don't think I can build the industrial cockpit, because that needs metal grids. Shit. I did not realize that. That's annoying. It's workaroundable, but, you know, that's a little annoying. But let's just see if I can get... Yeah. I wonder if it's functional without the grids. Nah, it requires the grids. Shit. That's alright. We'll just decommission that for a bit. I can use an alternate cockpit. It's just, design-wise, that looked cool. It was just needing something else to do with it. Don't want to put the... Actually, no, I'll put the... Alright, let's grab gyroscope components. Oh, really? Does the gyroscope also need component parts? How many grids do you need? Oh, okay, there we go. Kuno was just being an absolute twat and didn't realise that he was still trying to pull stuff from a prior operation. Being... And I want to build one of you as well. Now, the reason why I want to build one of the batteries is because it will actually help power the... Oh, am I out of... Right, iron. Of course. It will help power the projection, basically. So, let's just put these parts in first. Yeah, because all this will require is the power cells, which is nice. And we'll take the urgency off that small battery there, so I won't run out of power against the projector. That's rather nice of you, game. Just let them all go down to a hole where I can just hold down the F key and just go, you know. Here we are. Now, that can go in there. I've probably stored a whole bunch of stuff that I need anyway. Oops. No. Oh, I must have been using the thing for something else. No? Oh, okay. Odd. Ah, oh, so close. Anyway, back down the hole. Whee! Hello, hole, my only friend. Well, I have multiple friends. It's just this hole's the only one at the moment. Because the hole never judges me. I mean, it does. It's just, you know, very silent about it. That's what you get when you're dealing with earth spirits, I guess. Go. Okay. Let's do that all again. I didn't even realise I was going upwards, to be honest. You get so turned around in this game.
Inventory full.
Let's get down the hole again. Going to need much more than that. But, you know, this is all just the basic materials. As I said, I need to find a deposit of, you know, cobalt specifically. I think is going to be my next major hurdle. Because if you can find cobalt, you're pretty much set for the rest of the game. Because cobalt allows you to build the grids, which allows you to build the thrusters, which allows you to then go into the wider galaxy to get other stuff. Platinum, gold, and uranium are the high tier stuff, but cobalt's sort of mid tier. If you think of it like that. Come on, people. I would like to grab the improved refinery, but that requires, you guessed it, cobalt, because you need the grids to build the main source of what's it? The main grid source, basically.
Inventory full.
Now, I highly doubt the developers are going to listen to some no-name streamer, or, you know, person like myself, but, you know, just saying inventory full once will be more than enough rather than me spamming it. Because that's just a frustration, but,
Inventory full.
see? Just overlaps. Right, that's now all done. Let's grab all you. Let's go to the other battery. Right, so next on the list will be the cargo containers. Now these two are medium cargo containers. So, you know, cannot withdraw 2 computers. Is that literally all that I was missing? Oh, wow. I was expecting a lot more to be missing, to be honest. But that is well and truly fine. I can deal with that. Ah, there you go. That's where everything else was just like... Do I even have enough? Please tell me I've got enough. Yes! Thank God. As they say. Not that I'm particularly religious myself. People are allowed to believe in what they want. But also in saying that, with these medium cargo containers, they do have a capacity of 3,000. So, you know, it's not a huge amount on a small grid, but it's just, you know, that's 6,000 plus whatever on everything else, which is cool. Let's grab the build planner for that. Let's build the connector. Shazoom. Boop. Build it. Let's see what we're missing. Apparently not a lot, which is cool. But it's always nice to just have the component parts. Because in my other survival game, I've gotten, you know, 7 or 8 hours in and actually have a substantial base built up. You know, it's basically a platform. But, you know, there's enough on there that allows me to do stuff, which is neat. But I'm thinking what I may have to do with this particular build is swap that out for a alternate... what's it called? Alternate cockpit, or just have a spare one sitting on top for the duration whilst I drive it around and then just remove it later. Again, this is what happens when you're doing Space Engineers. There's a problem. I can't build this. What's the solution? Build an alternate chair. Simple as that. But then again, they can be as, you know, complex and convoluted as humanly possible. Boop. I think I might be running low on the iron again. Yeah. This is where the first, you know, couple of hours of Space Engineers in survival mode on this particular side of things actually goes to. Because it's like, right. I actually don't have the resources I need. Or they're not readily available.
Inventory full.
Thank you. I might go after that unknown signal, just because it's got steel plates on it. Or would have. Now, I am hoping that I've got the suspension up the right way. Because, yeah, it'd be a bit embarrassing if I've got the suspension around the wrong way. Damn, that's a chunky wheel. So, oh well, things happen, but, you know.
Inventory full.
So, yeah.
Inventory full.
I'm hoping that by the end of tonight's stream, or today's stream, or this afternoon's stream, depending on where you are in the grand scheme of the world, that I will have at least the bulk of the rover complete, if not just waiting on the hinge and some other little component parts. But that is the overarching goal of tonight's or today's session, which was base establishment and, you know, basic refinery, that sort of carry on. Now, unlike some people, I will not be doing anything off stream.
Inventory full.
Just because I feel as though, you know, you're as much as in the ride for this as I am. And, you know, me suddenly pulling out that, hey, guess what happened? I built a capital ship. People then might start going, oh, but you did it in creative, or you did this, or you did that. And I'm just like, I'm not that type of guy. I'm a vacuum cleaner. So yeah. That's just, you know, kind of what I want to get done. That's all the parts there. Right. So yeah, it's a, you know, a little high off the ground. I'll have to firm up the suspension a little bit, do a couple of things, and go from there. My brother would kill me if he saw this. He'd say it's an absolute atrocity. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so what am I missing from all of this? Realistically, just some panels and the last two wheels. And that's pretty much good to go aside from the conveyors just linking everything up. So what I might actually do is build the conveyors. Right, what I might actually do, because I'm not using these comm signals, I won't be using the magazine, and I sure as hell won't be using the gun. Is switch over to disassembling. I mean, I don't get a lot from all that, but, you know, some magnesium. Pistol, don't care. And then, you lot. Actually, give me a, you know, decent wadge of iron. Funnily enough. Signal's still 800 meters away. You see that flashing? That means that I do not have enough power coming in to support everything. Which is fine. These things do happen. And it's mostly because we've got the storm coming through. Which you'd think wind power would be better than that, but no, it's just a systematic problem. Now, are you Mr. Jumpy Jumpy? No, you're not. Okay, good. Hey, you got a badger helmet. Oh dear. Right. If you fly fast enough into something, you can kill yourself. Ow. Hence why I don't fly very fast. Or at least, if I try to, this is what happens. Okay, let's go you and you. That should be the last of my build planner one. Yes. And we'll just go Shazoom. Crates can also go in there. I'll build an ATM at some point. But that's good, because this means I can now go through you and you. Ah, dear. All the components withdrawn. I need to grab my hydrogen again. Really? We're that low on power. Oh, bollocks. Oh well, that's the reason why you have hydrogen bottles. Now, this could have been avoided if I had built a battery and had that storing power and what have you, but honestly, at this early in the game, not that big of a deal. I know design-wise I really need to go through and tidy some stuff up just to make it look nice. Yeah, and thanks to those interior plates that was built, I can just refurbish them to go to this. You gonna let me? Thank you. Okay. So, also in saying that, for those of you who don't know about space engineers, is that when a conveyor belt goes green, it means it's working. So keep that in mind. If something is not working properly, have a look at your conveyor tubes and see what is actually going on. Because sometimes it may just be a case of something's been damaged or something's just not connected properly. Who knows? Now, theoretically... Aha! Yes! It's doing what I wanted it to do. So I'm hoping... Ah, cool. So it doesn't actually automatically connect the part. That is actually awesome. Now, the reason why I'm saying that's awesome is because there used to be a drill that comes off here. But what this means is that if this design works, I can basically use this as my universal, here is a car that just works, and I'll just plug the attachment into the front. And just go, okay, it's a miner now, or it's a repairer, or it's a destruction item, because you can actually get grinders. I'll take those steel plates because everything else has been built. And we'll build these top parts here. As I said, my aesthetics is absolutely trash. Steel plates. I have no more steel plates. But yes, I will finalize all that. How much? Okay, going off for 10. Whilst that's building that, let's go down to the hold again and grab some more stuff. Probably what I'll also do with this particular one is I'll put a
Inventory full.
space-only ore projector or ore detector on this one, just because it will allow me to see if there's any underground veins nearby or anything like that. So, yeah. Now, are you... Yes, you're back up to full power. Yay. I think what I might try, just for shiggles, to see if I can actually get it to work at some point, is a rotating solar panel. Or at least, you know, a rotor with 2 rotors either side that turns the solar panels. Or turns the grid. Just because it would be cool. But, yes... Let's go here. I think that should be the last of the plates doing this little thing. Come on, Lord Clang, please. Your humble servant requests that you abide by the laws of physics. Or at least, you know, semi-reasonably. Alright. Won't be able to build them because I want to save those metal grids here. But let's go on to building the last 2 of the suspensions. Yeah, I'm going to need some more iron. And again, this is just what happens when it comes to early stage. You are consistently getting stone to build stuff to get more stuff. That's practically it.
Inventory full.
Now it is getting close to my wrap-up time, which is 4 PM +8 GMT, or 4 PM Australian Western Standard Time. Because I do know that if you are based out of the eastern states, it's getting on to like 7 PM because they've got daylight savings and all that sort of stuff. So, yes, well, once this is all done, we'll wrap up and we'll go from there. Now, I'm not tech savvy enough to have like an outro or anything like that, so something that I'm going to slowly work on over the course of, you know, the next couple of months, I guess, when I've got some spare time.
Inventory full.
Because I do have some spare time coming up in January to do whatever it is I decide to do. Most likely get people in to do my kitchen. Haha, another unknown signal 3Ks away. Fuck that noise. But certainly streaming schedule-wise will be a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 p.m. +8 GMT, or 7 p.m. at +8 GMT, so you can work out, what time it will be for you if you decide to come join us. At the moment, Tuesdays and Thursdays have no fixed, this is the game we're going to play, depending on how I feel. But I'm just sort of experimenting and what have you. So I may do another Payday 2. I may pull up Space Engineers again, or I might do something completely different in the wise words of Monty Python, and just do something completely different. But I will openly admit that in the lead up to the Final Fantasy expansion coming out, I will be endeavouring to stream some of that initial gameplay. I don't know how people feel about spoilers, but it will be discussed later. So I have a character ready to go and do all that. As it says in the channel description, I am a gamer at heart. MMOs, RPGs, RTSs, anything like that that tickles my fancy, I will give a shot. And if that just so happens to be the MMO of the hour, Final Fantasy XIV, then by all means. I might make that a mainstay of the channel. Who knows? Gee, how is the iron? Production's finished, so, this is all just extra iron. Always nice.
Inventory full.
Just clean up the last of these rocks, and then I'll build the last of the thing.
Inventory full.
Right. So. Because we've done that iron preparation, then that's fine. Eventually what I plan on having is a couple of cargo containers with the various components, ores, ingots, to be refined, this, that, and the other thing. So, but that is future Kuno's problem, future stream problems. But with that, that'll be the last parts of this particular car that needs to be made. And what I might do to solve the practical problem that is of seat is we'll go in here, dump that off, and we'll go rover. Because there is a rover cockpit available. So add that to the build planner, add that to there. That's what it looks like. This is only temporary, because I kind of need to find the cobalt deposit. Do I even have enough iron? Oh no, no. Ah, bollocks.
Inventory full.
So hopefully that should be the last of the iron that I need. I mean, if I can find a massive iron deposit or a massive cobalt deposit, then that would be great. But likelihood is there's probably none around here. But you never know in this game. I said that in my last playthrough, and it's just like, there is actually one that does exist. My apologies for that. We'll just plonk it there for the time being. Boom. So there you have it. One finalized thing and what have you. But the only reason why I want to go into here is because I want to set a couple of things up. So, the suspension. Now, I'm going to have to go... I don't know if this will work. No, because it's not broadcasting, because it doesn't have an antenna. I'm going to have to work out which tyre belongs to which one. Annoyingly enough. Oops. But that's cool. Now, power and what have you is all fine. Where is the strength? I'll have to do a bit of research. Mostly because I want to prevent the buggy or it from sinking down when it's got like 6 tons worth of stone in the back. Because I don't want it going any lower. Otherwise it's going to start scraping on the ground, which just makes life so much difficult. So what I'm going to do, for the sake of everyone else in the stream, now this will either work that was risky and close, but I should now, with V, be able to... Hey! We have a rover! Don't do anything stupid, otherwise I'm going to fall over. But there you go. That is a very basic rover. As I said, this is just a basic one. But it means that, you know, I have achieved what I have set out to achieve today on the stream. A little bit earlier than what I was expecting. But, with that done, let's strip this down, because it's no longer required. There we go. Toss all that in there. And then what we're going to do is, by pressing V and V again, is we're going to take it for a drive. And I feel as though we're going to drive to the unknown signal. That's a tree. Oh my god. I just clipped a tree. Oops. Now, I'm not taking this too fast or anything like that, because I kind of don't want to blow up my buggy. But me not being able to see shit is making life just a little bit hard. Yeah, design-wise, I might put a couple of floodlights on it, an azimuth ore detector, and add what it was going to add in the first place, which was a drill. Oh, and that's the reason why I have gyroscope, so you can stabilize. Hello to whoever has decided to join me. So, for a quick recap, most of the stream today has been setting up a first base for survival, brand new survival game, and everything like that. We've just finished off the rover. We're taking out for a little drive in the rain, in the fog, with no fog lights, to an unknown signal to work out what little goodies we're going to get. And I did not leave the parking brake on. Parking brake. It'd be embarrassing if I decided to leave that and it went all the way down the hill again. But let's see what we've got. It's nothing. Oh well. Well, not exactly nothing, because I'm taking all your parts. Medical kit and some money. Not a huge fan of the med kits because there's no real need for them. Or at least not in single player mode. I mean, if you were PvPing or anything like that, maybe they come in handy. But the time to kill on these things with a machine gun is just ridiculous. Now, I wish the rain would let up. But that's the entire premise of having a buggy. Or at least, something that's semi-stable that you can then go, right, this is what's going on. To whomever it is that has just joined me, letting you know is that we'll be wrapping up the stream shortly. But I do plan on streaming every Tuesday, Thursday at 7 PM +8 GMT. And then Saturdays will be between 1 and 4 GMT, just because I've got other stuff that I need to get done. Mostly preparing for going out and what have you. Well, that actually does take those ridges a lot easier than the pre-oils do. So, if you wish to join me, then by all means do so. Otherwise, once we get back to the Aviary, we'll park the buggy up, I'll show you what we've done, and I'll be wrapping things up shortly. In the meantime, enjoy the sound of dulcet rain on this. I'm going a bit fast for my liking. I should probably set the speed limit to like 100 k's an hour. But do you think that'll stop me? Nah. This thing is actually relatively stable, all things considered, which I find surprising. Most of the buggies I build are either too low to the ground, or flip, or do this, or do that, or just, absolute frustrating nightmares. But this particular one seems to be doing well. So for a, design that is designed to be modular, it turned out quite nicely. So we'll just park her up here. Put the parking brake on, turn the power off, just so I'm not wasting battery. And we'll go with that. So yeah, this is the base at this point in time. You can see here the buggy is a bit of a monster, but tends to do its job. We've got our survival kit, we've got our O2 generator, cargo, and the processing plants. We have two wind farms up top, which is nice. And I'm going to dump all this in here, including the med kits and the cache money. Actually, whilst I'm here, this is what happens. You get sidetracked. Azimuth. Here we go. Ore detector. Space only ore detector. This thing is a bit broken, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, the reason why this particular modded thing is broken is because it can go broadcast out to or detect for a total of 2.5 kilometers, which in space is, you know, penny change. But the basic ore detectors in Space Engineers is only a range of 500 meters, which, in my opinion, is kind of shit. So, what Azimuth did was he decided to go, no, fuck that noise. I want a ore detector that is, you know, reasonable. So he designed, or he, she, they, don't know them personally. Been around for a while. Decided to go, nah, naff that noise. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, the rain's let up. I wonder if... Turn the power back on. Take the handbrake off, because I'm an idiot. I wonder if I can measure how high up this needs to be for power resupply. Whoop. Oh, have I done that near perfectly? Oh, I have to. Oh my god. That is, okay, that is actually really neat. I mean, it's just a little bit under, but I can work with that. No, no, 9! Stop. Thank you. Because what I can do... this is what happens. I'm, you know, deciding to go, oh, I'll wrap up the stream. No, I want to try this out first before I go. That's just what happens with Space Engineers. You get sidetracked. You're just like, but I want to do this, but I want to try that. Ooh. We'll grab a connector, add it to our build planner. We will see... Oh, is that all that I needed? 4 small steel tubes. Wow. Boop. 4 small steel tubes later. Add that to my list. And we'll go 8. And we will... Oh, let's make it disco. Because why the hell not? That would explain it. I'm an absolute numpty. I designed the connector to be for a small ship, not for a large one. Because Kuno is a fuckwit. Which means I won't be able to do what I was planning on doing tonight. Which is connect my vessel up. Oh well. But that will be for next stream, I feel. But the inevitable plan will be to drill out a bit of the underground, just to lower the platform a little bit, just so it allows my connector here to connect nicely to my stuff. So, and yes, as I said, I do apologise to the person who decided to come view me afterwards, but hey, this is what it is. Feel free to follow me. I'll be streaming about the same time next week. And yeah, so thank you very much for everyone joining me tonight, or today, whatever time of day it is at your place. And yeah, I don't exactly know how to do these outros properly, but what can you do? Not a lot. But yes, so again, thank you very much for joining me. And I will see you all. Let's just save it. Go to the main menu. Yes, we'll save again. So I will see you all in a later stream if you decide to join me. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't let the world come too down hard on you. And, you know, take care of yourselves. Everything like that. And, yeah. But, yeah. See yous.